there, viewers, and welcome back to the Self-Made Auto Channel. Sitting inside the 2005 Chevrolet. It's a 2500. It's got the big Dirty Max in it. And it came in with the money light on. And I pulled the codes. If I can get this little donger to turn back on. Ah, crap. I unplugged the dongle. Anyhow, it has a P0299 turbocharger, engine underboost, and a, if I hit OK, it's going to disappear, 404 or 401. 404, I've seen it flash. EGR code. And he stopped by with the other day and it had the 401, a 404, and a 299. So turbocharger code, underboost, and a couple EGR codes. And these Chevys, now this thing's never been touched. It is low miles. This one is at 80,000 right on the nose, 80,008 miles. When I get these in, I know from previous experience that these always have service updates, and I believe they actually have a specific service update for the 401 and the 404. I don't know about the 299. Anytime I get these Duramaxes in, first thing I do is just make sure it has the latest software in the ECM, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to flash the ECM, make sure it has the latest software, make sure that's all happy, and then take our diagnosis from there. You don't want to be treading water chasing a ghost that, you know, a problem that doesn't exist, so to speak, because of a software update. You know, it's no different than your Windows computer. They always have, you know, updates and fixes and to change parameters and take care of problems, you know. So we're going to do that first, and then we'll take it for a shake, see if these problems come back. When he was in, he did ask me to clear his light. Now that was only a couple days ago, and the light has since, you know, popped right back on. I guess it came on his way home, so the problem is there, or whatever it may be. But let's get this baby flashed, and then we'll see what happens. All right, so we'll get started here. I've already logged in. Got the key on. Got a battery maintainer on it. Yes, this is Windows 7. Before we get like a bazillion comments on that. I'll let her get loaded up here. And we're using the Bosch MasterTech VCI as our interface device. And a super old version of Java, which is required on GM programming. And as soon as Windows 7 quits being updated, which is very soon, they're going to require us to have Windows 10 and a certain PC and all that stuff. So we're going to have to update some of our stuff. But the fact is, this, you know, I keep using it on this laptop because it works well. I don't have any issues. So we are going to skip this. We're going to have to put in some of the vehicle information. Using the MVCI. We're just doing a regular program. So we will hit next. Next. The key's already on, everything's hooked up. Alright, this is a Chevrolet. This is the 2005 variety. This is a light duty truck. This is a silver one. This is not the new body style. Did they have a CK up here? CK, old body style, I guess. No, it's not old body style. It's new body style for 05, I guess it would be. I don't know. That's stupid. Because I think new body style, I think 07 up, but it's 05. So we're going to go do Silverado new. It's going to check the VIN anyways, so it really doesn't matter. Just gotta make sure. Alright, so it's got the VIN. Make sure that's the right one here. Next. We'll do PCM. If I remember right, these will have specifically, it'll say update for the 404. Let's see. Oh, let me look back through. Sometimes it'll say down here Let's see, light throttle surging, no. We have two different part numbers to choose from. Rectangular air housing or cylindrical air housing. I gotta go see what kind of air housing this thing has on it. Oh, what do we got? Alright. Ours is the rectangular shaped air housing. Now this says here cylindrical, so we gotta select rectangular. So there's that. We can pull up a whole list of all of the previous updates, all these previous numbers here. This is the current calibration on it now. So let's just go next. We could dig back through. I just want to screenshot this just so I can save it. We can look back through and see. I'm surprised this is as up to date as it is. Come on, little fella. What do we have here? Let me just save this here, folks. Okay, so this one's being updated here. Operating system, some kind of intake pop complaint. That one's being updated. This part number is being updated for some kind of engine surge. This is being updated for this P0116. So this part number stays the same, and this part number stays the same. Okay, so let's just hit next. Let's let her get updated. This process will take a little bit here at some point sometimes. And like I say, we can pull up all of the previous updates to see where it's at and if anything has been, updated for the EGR and stuff. So we'll let this do its thing. Alright, hooray. There it is. I gotta let it finish up here. See, everything came back online. The dash and all that stuff goes dead while it's doing this. Okay. Do you have any special instructions? If there are no controller specific instructions, turn ignition off for 30 seconds. We will turn it off for 30 seconds. We should be done here. I'm going to unhook my power supply and stuff. We'll get it fired up. We'll go through and clear codes out of any modules. Sometimes it'll set a bunch of no-com codes and everything because everything turns off. So I'll get that taken care of. And then we'll go test drive it and see if we have this problem return. And if it does, it's one less thing we have to worry about. We have the latest software, then we can fix it if anything else is wrong. Alright, we're in here rocking and knocking. The old diesel. Let me lock you guys down here a little bit. It's a little bit of a vibrator. We're going to go roll some coal. I've got some data up here. It's going to be kind of tricky for me to hold this and drive, but I've got EGR position, EGR variance, so we can tell if it sticks. So the variance is going to be the difference between the desired and the actual EGR position. So if this thing is messing up, we'll see it. I've got boost pressure up here, so we can watch that. So when we're blowing black smoke, we can see what kind of boost we have. They don't have a desired boost. That's a calculated value in the ECM. So to set that 299 code, the ECM looks at what it thinks boost pressure should be versus what it is, and if it's, I think it gives a 5-pound tolerance. If it's out of that range for so many seconds, it trips a code. So we're gonna go out, we're gonna give her beans, we're gonna roll some coal. The thing is, I don't even know if we're supposed to drive on it. They technically have this street closed, so I'm not sure if we're supposed to drive on their new binder. I think they're putting down binder. There's a guy up here smoking cigarettes at the railroad track. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little shortcut here. Imagine we can drive. They drove on it with a roller. So we'll go this way. I don't think you guys ever been this way. Old Pigtail Alley, I call it. Probably won't record the whole test. much driving. I'll show you the shortcut. It's like playing Grand Theft Auto. You know, these things are important to know. Come on here. This is pretty much a one truck width street anyways. And then you hang it right through here. We'll cut right through the town barns. This will get us out to the big road. It's a little rough. Big ditch right here. Hold on. There we go. Another one right here. Alright. There we are. Now we're out to the big road. Guy coming. Wait for this fella. Here we go. Yeah. Full boost. Got up to 30 psi, 32, 33, about 34 psi, so that's what, about 10 pounds of boost above manifold pressure. I don't know what these normally run. So I'm going to continue on my drive here, do some steady throttle. We'll see if and when the EGR opens, let the engine warm up all the way. See if we generate any codes. This is kind of wobbly for you. Trying to hold this and not die. We can see our EGR is opening. Different percentages. I don't even know if you guys can see it, but our EGR variance is staying almost at zero, about 0.3% variance. You guys probably can't see crap. I thought texting was bad way to drive, but what I want to know is, you know, maybe when it's warming up, perhaps the EGR is going goofy. Then we'll give her some time here. So we pulled over here for a minute. No money lights or anything yet. We've only been not too many miles. Let's see. We want to see if we have any pending codes first and foremost. So we have no pending codes, and then we want to see if our specific codes have been run yet. So we'll check the P0299 first. That was our turbo code. Alright, pass, pass, and pass. So far on that one, then we had what, the 401, 404. I don't know what it takes to run the EGR monitor. Check P0401. Pass, pass, pass. That's our insufficient flow code. P0404. Pass, pass, pass. So that's good. So it has ran all of those monitors and it has passed, and there are no codes. So really, and we seem to be pulling good boost. EGR doesn't seem to have any variance in it. I'm gonna drive back to the shop. I've got to put a new shift cable in it, and it needs a service. A couple other little things. I'll drive it some more, but I think we're gonna call it for right now. Made it back to the shop. Put about 20 miles on it. Various types of driving, from steady cruise to, you know, heavy pull up hills. I just want to make sure that there is nothing pending. There still isn't. I'm going to go back through our specifics here, just to make sure. I mean, if there was a last test failed, we would have a pending code, I'm sure. So we're still all passed there. And I drove further than what he would have drove home last time. Those are all passed. So I'm not going to get too excited about this. And like I say, even if it didn't, you know, clear it up, 404, it is something that definitely needs to be done on these. And if you're working on these in the shop, it is a great habit to get into, to just have the ECM updated before you start chasing ghosts. So we'll leave this one at that, folks. I'm happy with it so far. Like I said, I got a few more things to do on it, so this truck's going to get driven some more. Do the service and the shift cable and whatnot that he wants done. I guess the point of this video can be, if your vehicle comes in, make sure you check service bulletins. I believe they have service bulletins. I'd have to look to be 100% sure, but I've seen a lot of these come in with these codes. Check. They got TSB. Update the ECM. These always have tons of updates. If you're paying for the subscription, you can go through and update, body module and training module and all that stuff. General Motors typically has a lot of updates to fix, a lot of their mistakes or change parameters or however you want to look at it. Same with Chryslers. You see that a lot in them too. And also, like, if you're bringing cars in to change, parts, there's some, like, let's say, this was a Chrysler car, and it had the intake manifold runner control valve, and they've got an updated part. Well, they usually have updated software to go with it too. EGR codes, EVAP codes. There's a ton of them on Chryslers where you get the new updated part. It has to have a software update to work with it, or to change those failed parameters or min value, max value, stuff like that. Like I say, it's similar to your Windows update on your PC. May fix problems that you don't even know are problems yet. So keep that in mind. And that's it. Gonna keep moving. Got a lot to do today. Why don't you go down there, click subscribe, ring the bell, do everything that you do while you're down there. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.